are the God-fearing? The definition of Iman. The Holy Quran has provided a comprehensive definition of Iman in only 2 words. يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ, believe in the unseen. If one has fully understood the meaning of the words Iman and Ghaib, one will have understood the meanings of one will have also understood the essential reality of Iman. Lexically, the Arabic word Iman signifies accepting with complete certitude the statement made by someone out of one's total confidence and trust in him. Endorsing someone's statement with regard to sensible or observable facts is therefore not Iman. For example, if one man describes a piece of cloth as black and another man endorses the statement, it may be called tasdeeq, confirmation, but not Iman. For such an endorsement is based on personal observation and does in no way involve any confidence or trust in the man who has made the statement. In the terminology of the Sharia, Iman signifies accepting with complete certitude the statement made by a prophet only out of one's total confidence and trust in him and without the need of personal observation. The explanation of these by the translator is, it would be helpful to note that in the everyday idiom of the West and even in modern social sciences, faith has come to mean no more than an intense emotional state or a fixed emotion. As against this, the Islamic conception of Iman is essentially intellectual, in the original signification of intellect, which the modern West has altogether forgotten. As for the word ghaib, lexically denotes things which are not known to man in an evident manner, or which are not apprehensible through the 5 senses. The Holy Quran uses this word to indicate all the things which we cannot know through the 5 senses or through reason, but which have been reported to us by the Holy Prophet ﷺ. These include the essence and the attributes of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu wa Amma Nawaluhu, matters pertaining to destiny, heaven and hell, and what they contain, the day of judgment, and the things which happen on that day, divine books, all the prophets who were preceded by the Holy Prophet ﷺ, in short. All the things mentioned in the last 2 verses of the Surah Al-Baqarah. Thus, the 3rd verse of the Surah states the basic creed of the Islamic faith in its essence, while the last 2 verses provide the details. So, belief in the unseen ultimately comes to mean having firm faith in everything that the Holy Prophet ﷺ has taught us, subject to the necessary condition that the teaching in question must have come down to us through authentic and undeniable sources. This is how the overwhelming majority of Muslim scholars generally define Iman. According to the definition, Iman signifies faith and certitude and not mere knowledge. For a mental knowledge of the truth is possessed by Shaitan himself and even by many disbelievers. For example, they knew very well that the Holy Prophet ﷺ was truthful and his teachings were true, but they did not have faith in him, nor did they accept his teaching with their heart, and hence they are not Muslims. The meaning of establishing salah. The second quality of the God-fearing is that they are steadfast in the prayer. The verb employed by the Holy Quran here is yuqimuna, generally rendered in English translation as they establish, which comes from the word iqama, signifying to straighten out. So the verb implies not merely saying one's prayer. So the verb implies not merely saying one's prayers, but performing the prayers correctly in all possible ways and observing all the prescribed conditions, whether obligatory, fard, or necessary, wajib, or commendable, mustahab. The concept includes regularity and perpetuity in the performance of salah, as also an inward concentration, humility, and awe. At this point, it may be noted that the term does not mean a particular salah. Instead, it includes all fard, wajib, and nafl prayers. Now, to sum up, the God-fearing are those who offer their prayers regularly and steadfastly in accordance with the regulations of the Sharia, and also observe the spiritual etiquette outwardly and inwardly. Spending in the way of Allah. Categories. The third quality of the God-fearing is that they spend in the way of Allah. The correct position in this respect, which has been adopted by the majority of commentators, is that it includes all the forms of spending in the way of Allah. But whether it be the fard, obligatory zakah, or the wajib, necessary, almsgiving, or just voluntary and nafl, supererogatory acts of charity. For the Holy Quran usually employs the word infaq with reference to nafl, supererogatory, almsgiving, or in a general sense, but reserves the word zakah for the obligatory almsgiving. The simple phrase mimma razaqnahum, is spent out of what we have provided them, inspires us to spend in the way of Allah by drawing our attention to the fact that anything and everything we possess is a gift from Allah and His trust in our hands, and that even if we spend all our possessions in the way of Allah, it would be proper and just and no favor to Him. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His mercy asks us to spend in His way out of what? Mimma He has provided. That is only a part and not the whole. Among the three qualities of the God-fearing, faith is of course the most important, for it is the basic principle of all other principles, and no good deed can find acceptance or validity without faith. The other two qualities pertain to good deeds. Now, good deeds are many. One could make a long list of even those which are either obligatory or necessary. So the question arises as to why the Holy Quran should be content to choose for mention only two, namely performing salah and spending in the way of Allah. In answering this question, one could say that all the good deeds which are obligatory or necessary for man pertain either to his person and his body or to his possessions. Among the personal and bodily forms of ibadat, acts of worship, the most important is the salah. Hence the Holy Quran mentions only this form in the present passage. As for the different forms of ibadat pertaining to possessions, the word infaq, spending, covers all of them. Thus, in mentioning only two good deeds, the Holy Quran has by implication included all the forms of worship and all good deeds. The whole verse then comes to mean that the God-fearing are those who are perfect in their faith and in their deeds both. And the Islam is the sum of faith and practice. In other words, while providing a complete definition of Iman, faith, the verse indicates the meaning of Islam as well. So, let us find out how Iman and Islam are distinct from each other.